How are you doing?
Say hi.
Are we on?
We're on.
Got a mic check?
Mic check, check.
All right.
You're on.
We're on.
Well, the audience snuck up on us, we hope.
Yeah, and the wind, cool weather has too. It looks like
Yeah.
November is here.
Yeah, real November,
It's
real
here.
fall.
It's
Woo!
summertime up home though.
Just, yeah.
But I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah. So, we have had several people ask a lot of different things. We're going to address our trivia question. It's been so much fun for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you're curious about that, hang around. We're going to address that near the end. And then we've had some people ask some questions about security dogs, how to handle them, situations, and just a pet peeve of mine. I've had a lot of people recently, I mean, we've had all the, there's a lot of violence going on in this country, right?
Yeah.
Except Scott ain't got no violence and I ain't got no violence, but he got Western Shepherds and Doberman Pinschers and I got Western Shepherds and Bulldogs. So, you know, we don't do violence. Our violence don't do us, I guess.
They don't come around very often.
They don't come around.
At all, actually.
At all. So we're gonna, I'd like to, let's just address how the reasons you want a trained dog. How's that?
Sounds good.
So let's go 2 examples. Of course, everyone knows that, and no political comments, please, at all. But you all know about the Pelosi incident where this guy somebody broke the glass
At her house, right?
in his yeah. Big 2-story house, right? And I could be a little wrong on this, but I think the way I understand what happened was, well, I know he patio door, he crashed, broke the glass, stuck his hand in there, opened the door. But the first that the man knew about it was when he woke up and the man was in his bedroom. And he had to go upstairs to get to the bedroom.
They need some dogs.
Yes. Now, let's go to another incident. Y'all know the actress Sandra Bullock. She apparently had a stalker, and she built a home in Austin, Texas. And she wanted to hire like 24-hour-a-day security, but Champ said she was busy. Hey, Champ.
Hey, bud. Come on in
Ready
here.
to jump in there? But she couldn't watch her house, so Bullock decided she'd do the next best thing because she didn't like guns, I think. So she has built into her bedroom like a bomb shelter room, like a
Safe room.
Safe room,
Safe room, yeah.
yeah. And she got communication and everything in there, so and she's had her mansion broken into several occasions. So I don't know if Pelosi's got guns, something tells me he doesn't, but I still hear a lot of people that live right around me say, well, I don't need a dog, I got guns.
We're in Texas.
We're in Texas.
Not everybody lives here.
Right.
And not everybody in Texas has guns.
Right.
A lot of people have dogs.
A lot of people have dogs. And you know what? A lot of people that have guns and no dogs, they get robbed. They get beat up. On occasion, they may get shot. Because you can be the best shot in the world. You can have, a 30-06 cranked and ready always at your bedside.
Does that gun have radar ears and hear everything that's going on half a mile around? Coming up to the property?
Exactly.
Different sounds?
Just like Mr. Pelosi was sleeping in his bed, he didn't hear nothing until this guy went all busted a glass, goes up the stairs, and is standing there with a hammer ready to bash his head in. Had he a dog, he would have known probably before the glass got busted.
A long time before when they pull up the driveway. Or
So-
probably don't have a driveway, but
Yeah, and so here's I think every 10 years the FBI publishes a report on a crime report, right? And they'll spend 8 or 10 years going around to various prisons, and they'll line up all the best criminals they can, and they interview them. What do you look for? How do you, when you're casing a joint, what makes you decide that was the right one to rob? What discourages you from trying, and all this sort of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So everyone's going to think the answer, but I'm going to straight out. What do you think when they interview these people? Now this is back when I had my security company, so I haven't seen the report for the last 20 years, but these things stay pretty consistent. What do you think the biggest deterrent to a burglar is in your home?
Lights.
Lights.
Second, dog.
Nope. Think real hard. It's close. A dog solves the problem. Noise.
Barking.
Barking. But if you have an alarm that goes off, you get the same effect. Because in both cases, unlike a business that may be in an area where there's nobody around there at night, homes and residential areas, you got neighbors close enough they can hear an alarm even if you're not home. They can also hear a dog. But if you've got a dog, most burglars, according to the FBI information, assume that you're home with your dog. So you could say dog actually comes in third on the list. So at no point are guns a deterrent, because they don't know if you got a gun or not.
Right.
Right? And then even if you got a gun, they don't know if you can shoot in the dark at night when you're scared to. Right? So guns are way down on the list as deterrents. If you have that dog, now you have the other situation where you have something more violent, more dangerous, and that's like a home invasion. Now, these are people who are going to come up, bang on your door. When you crack the door, they kick the door in with weapons and go after you. But you have the same plus with a dog there.
Because you did the door too, wanted to go outside and see what's up.
Yeah, yeah. When they start walking up your front to your door, dog's going to go off.
The door opens. Usually, my dogs are funny. They'll stick their heads up the door to see who's there.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, hi. Back up.
Yeah, and you know.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
You can look out, you know, if you got a little peephole, you can look out there, and obviously, if it's 10 o'clock at night, and there's, you know, 3 masked dudes out there, well, you know, they're not filming no Batman movies on your front porch at 10 o'clock at night, so why are masked men out there, right? So, again, the dog is your key, and it's his alerting ability that's going to let you know that there's a potential danger. Now you can go get your gun, Annie Oakley.
Yeah, because at that split second, they're rethinking the situation.
Right,
They're not coming in and you have the upper hand
right,
always.
Always.
You always should have the upper hand.
right, right. So you follow. So any way you look at it, I like to call the dog the world's oldest security system. But you need to know how to handle it. For instance, if you encourage your dog to bark at people that come up to your door, at some point you're going to get sick and tired of hearing your dog bark and everybody's walking up to your front door. So here's a little routine you can go through that'll show your dog to alert you, because when it's dark, dogs automatically get suspicious. You don't have to worry about that. They always get suspicious in the dark. But you still want your dog to alert when people are coming up, but you don't want him to keep barking while you're trying to talk to, you know, Miss Fitzhugh from down the street who just came down to borrow a cup of sugar. So what you're going to do is you go take your dog to the door, have somebody knock on it, and the dog goes up and goes, wah, 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 and you tell your dog, good boy. Let him know you appreciate that. Whoa, 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 good boy, that's good. Okay. Okay is the word I use for just whatever you're doing, you can now stop. If you're staying, you can get up. If you're barking, you can shut up. Okay? So you go, okay, and when he doesn't shut up, you say, no, pop, pop. Give him a little correction. And then when he shuts up, you praise him. Attaboy. If you do this 3 or 4 times, what's going to happen is your dog's going to know, because you first praised him for barking at a sound outside. Good boy, that was great. Then you said, okay, so you ended that command. Now you're going to tell him when he keeps barking, no, I don't need that. And you're going to go pop, pop. And what he's going to figure out in his little K-Einstein brain is, it's good for me to bark and let Daddy know, but then when Daddy gets here, he'll make the decision as to whether or not there's still a problem. So that's how you can fix that problem. And the other thing I like to do with for all my customers when they do get a security dog from us is encourage them to get somebody to walk up and tap on a window about dusk. And when that dog goes, wah, 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 praise the heck out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody, and then the person can run off. If you have a window you can open easily, it's even better. The dog goes, wah, 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 and barks at somebody. Your agitator can have a sack, throw it in the window, and give the dog a bite. Now I guarantee you, anything bigger than a butterfly taps on your window,
He's waiting for it.
he's on top of it. So
Same thing with the home invasions. Do home invasions also, and the first time usually the dog will look at the handler or the owner. Can I go? Can I do this? You know.
all right, let me Scott speaking to home invasions, and like always, we don't speak without experience, because that's what he does after he trains people's dogs. He will take it that next step and do a home invasion. Go ahead from there.
And the first time usually, the dog can come up, they don't come in, and no one's ready. It's like, be yourself, normal house activities. You're watching TV, sit down, just be relaxed, like you're home. And we'll break the front door down. Well, leave it unlocked. I hate paying for doors. But go in and invade. And 9 out of 10, the dog, most dogs that have been trained, will look at the owner and then look back. Well, what are you looking at? Get him. Dog will come out, do bites, protect the home front door. Ended there, evaluate it, come back, and always come back after, 4 or 5 months, depending. Basically, it's 5. I think it's 5 months. The dog.
Right.
And the next time you walk in that door, buddy, you better hang on your shorts because he's coming.
Yep.
So I've been on both sides of it. I had my dog, my first Doberman. They came and invaded my house, and the dog actually looked at me and said, "Can I just bite something, or what do you want me to do?" You just Lord command. There you went. And from that point on, anybody put in front of my driveway, the Amazon person, UPS, didn't matter who it was, the dog would go to the front door and look, and come back. Could have a corridor, look behind the fridge and wait for the door to open because he was ready for him. So
Yep.
the dog knew. From that point on, there was no anybody comes to that door unannounced.
They get it.
Well,
Take them out.
it depends. My kids can come in, my daughter and her kids come in. The dogs know.
Right.
But as for something, but he knew automatically he's watching. He's watching that door.
Yep.
And he's smart enough that he could tell who was coming, who wasn't coming. If that makes sense to y'all there, it does, don't. That's just what I experienced with him.
Right. And here's again, there's this popular belief amongst people that dogs, if you train them to bite, like when Mina works dogs out here, people think, oh my God, the dog's going to bite little kids all his life. No, that's ridiculous. What Scott said, little pearls in his conversation right there, he said the dog looks back. These are dogs that are trained to bite. They've been coming out to a training field. They've been biting someone who's got a sleeve or a suit on. But now they're in their home. They still understand what that word means though, but it's never happened in that environment, ever. So they, because of the way we train a proper security dog, always look to the handler or the owner for guidance. Someone just kicked in the door. They've never done that before. What should I do? They know the command, sick them or get them or bite their balls, whatever. And when they hear that command from the owner, if they're properly trained, now they're 0 to 100 right now, and anything coming in, they're going to take it out. And I see a lot of people. Remember, when someone tells you they're proofing your dog to show he's not equipment oriented, and they're going to work him in a muzzle, as if that means something, right? But when they work the dog in the muzzle, they muzzle on the dog. They go to the training field where he's been biting. A lot of times I've seen them where they're putting on a suit just for insurance, I guess, or the clatter stick. In other words, they're doing everything that they normally do, except the dog's got a muzzle on. So the environment tells the dog it's time to bite. Someone's standing in front of me and they make a move like this, I get to go bite them, you know. I saw another one where a guy said, so-and-so dog, first time on a hidden sleeve, police dog, gonna prove he'll bite for real. I thought, well, I gotta watch this. So I looked, and here's the guy, and he's standing here sideways, he's got a big old sweatshirt on, he's got the hidden sleeve on under it. And I looked, and the dog, apparently they do table training, right, which was started for bird dogs in the 50s and has been adapted to do bite dogs. Remember, mind you, I didn't say security or protection dogs, I said bite dogs. So he's going to that dog and he's making all the moves like he would if he were suited up. And the dog's up on this table, and this one's enclosed. And this is where the dog does all his bite work, and he's going nuts as soon as he sees him. And then he goes, boom, and the crazy same dog bites the sleeve. And the guy says, see, he's proved. No. He's doing the same thing he's done all the time. You just presented something slightly different that he could still sink his teeth into. So what Scott said was, the dogs look back at me, or the owner, and they say, get him. You want your dog properly trained to react on command. They don't get aggressive just because someone's wearing a sleeve.
Now, when you're there, you give a dog permission or the right, someone comes in that door in a certain manner to bite him. Now, if you're in bed sleeping, you're not there to look, the dog ain't never look at you. The dog will make a decision. He knows the situation and the pattern.
Good point.
Whoever comes to my house at 10 o'clock at night, the dogs will get weary. The dog knows automatically, okay, that ain't here, no, that is, it's dark, game on.
Yep.
So it's an adaptable situation with the dogs. It's not, they're not gonna look at you every time. They won't, because you won't be there. Half the time someone breaks in your house and they're gonna be at 11 in the morning when the milkman comes by, or the Avon lady or whoever. It's gonna be at night or when you're not there.
Right.
You won't, the dog will be alone. So basically, your home security dog is actually acting like an actual guard dog from a guard dog business.
Yep.
He's all alone in there.
At that point, yep.
But he knows he's got the right to protect his home and his abode
Exactly.
without any repercussion whatsoever.
Right. And, that's where the scientific term is territoriality. The scientists claim the dog is protecting his territory. My biggest pet peeve is people don't give dogs enough credit for being able to think and reason and know right from wrong. And I don't say they're territorial. I look for a dog that's got what I consider pack responsibility, because he's going to be responsible for his pack and his territory. And the people who have those kind of dogs are never going to be robbed. And ain't nobody ever going to hit them in the head with a hammer.
There's a situation, everybody's got a dog, right? That has a dog, I should say. You can't come in my backyard. That's the dog's area. Same thing with the house. The house, the yard, the whole property is his.
Yep.
So how your dog acts outside, he's guarding his territory, like you're saying. But then you go in the pack's in the house. So it becomes pack and territory together.
Yep. It's true. Good point. Even stronger stimulus to protect. And they protect. There's no doubt. They know what they're doing. They know why they're doing it. And there ain't many people who stand up to one of them if they're properly trained. So we get, let's go on that very unique trivia question that Mr. Sinclair brought up to us. You want to go over it again, or?
So 1943-44, there was a critter that flew five sortie missions over Germany and had kills recorded and medals of honor. And you want to know what? The name of the dog?
Name of the dog.
The name of the owner.
Name of the owner.
And what kind of plane it was.
And what kind of dog it was.
And what kind of critter it was.
Critter it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a first place.
And we had a second place.
And we have a second place. Remember, we're giving away the fancy guard dog leashes and the My Security System Bites bumper stickers. So second place, you'll get announced officially next week. We're going to you ain't gonna believe the answer to this question. You're not gonna believe the critter that did all this. So we're gonna have a special announcement of the winners next podcast because we want to have pictures of this critter and what he did.
And the plane, and the guy that flew the plane, and the sorties, and the explanation on his life.
Right.
And I get another trivia question, but I'm not going to give it out yet.
Yeah. And if you see on Tuesdays,
On the same dog.
same dog. Yeah. I've done a little series on dogs and other heroes that predominantly features stories about amazing war dogs. And this one's, Scott discovered this one. I never did find it. So you can check out those other stories, but we will name our winners next week, and we'll let everybody see one of the most extraordinary war heroes I've ever seen.
Yes, we will. Absolutely.
Until then, tell them, Scott.
It's all about the dogs.
That's why we're here.
We'll see you next week.
See you then, folks.